friends, this video on work, energy and power part 17 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos from part 1 to part 16 before going ahead with part 17. Now we will look at the work energy theorem for non-conservative forces. Till now we talked of the work energy theorem for a constant force. Then we talked of the work energy theorem for a variable force, but in both the cases we talked of it in context of a conservative force. Now we will talk of the work energy theorem when non-conservative forces also acting on a body. Let us consider a scenario where two forces, one conservative force and another non-conservative force, are acting on a body. That means there is one conservative force, let us denote it by Fc, and another non-conservative force, that is, let us say Fnc, is acting on the body. So what impact will it have on the work energy theorem? Will the work energy theorem still remain the same? Now, before we start with this, let us quickly recall what was the work energy theorem. The work energy theorem states that work done on a body is equal to the change in kinetic energy, right? So work done in this case, what will be the work done? Work done would be the total force acting on the body into the displacement. Let us say the displacement is delta x. So total force F into delta x is equal to delta k. Now what will be the total force? It will be Fc plus Fnc, because both of these forces are acting on the body. So this is equal to delta k. So we can say that Fnc into delta x plus Fc delta x is equal to delta k, right? Now again here we can say, what is Fc into delta x? If you recall quickly, for a conservative force, F is equal to minus dV by dx, right? Where V is the potential energy. What is this V? It is potential energy. So we can say that F into dx will be equal to minus delta V. This is equal to delta K. Therefore, we say that Fnc delta x is equal to delta K plus delta V. So delta K plus delta V will be equal to delta K plus V. What is kinetic energy plus potential energy? That is equal to mechanical energy, or we sometimes call it as total energy. Let us say we denote it as E. So we find that Fnc into delta x is equal to delta E. Now what is Fnc into delta x? This is nothing but the work done by the non-conservative force. So work done by non-conservative force will be the force Fnc into delta x. So this is equal to E final, that is the change in total energy. That means the work done by a non-conservative force is equal to the change in total energy. So what did you observe? In case of a conservative force, the work done is equal to the change in kinetic energy, whereas in case of a non-conservative force, the work done is equal to change in total energy. So that is the difference which we have in case of conservative and non-conservative forces. We will now look at various different forms of energy and their interconversion. That means one energy getting converted to some other energy. Let us first look at heat energy. A very common form of energy. Where do you normally observe heat energy? Sun rays, you feel heat. So heat energy is there in sun rays. When you light a gas burner, fire comes up. There is some heat which you can feel there. So there is heat energy involved in that. So heat energy is something very common which you encounter in almost all your activities here and there. So let us look at an example of interconversion of heat energy. Did you ever observe that when you rub your hands continuously, what happens? You tend to feel hot, right? For example, during winter season, when it is very cold, you generally have a tendency to rub your hands very fast for some time and then you feel better. Why? Because when you rub your hands, friction comes into play between your palms. As a result, the friction generates heat. So what we can see, when you are moving your hands, what is happening? It is a kinetic energy. The hands are in motion. So the kinetic energy gets converted into heat energy. Right? So the heat gets generated because of the frictional force. So when I talk of heat energy, I can project the example of rubbing hands or rubbing palms. Right? Let us look at the next kind of energy, chemical energy. Chemical energy also you can encounter in things where some chemical reactions take place inside. For example, when you light a matchstick, what happens? The chemical energy inside the matchstick gets converted into heat and light energy. For example, matchstick. It's matchstick. So when you try to light a matchstick, what happens? The chemical energy gets converted into heat plus light energy. Let us think of electrical energy. This is something which you see all around you almost all the time. Whether you take into consideration fans, tube lights, bulbs, or any other electrical equipments. So in all these electrical equipments, electrical energy is involved. When I talk of say a fan, you switch on the fan starts moving. What happens when you switch on the fan? The electrical energy gets converted into the kinetic energy of the motion of the fan, right? So there you see electrical energy. You have nuclear energy. This is an important energy because till now all the three types of energy was something which you see around you almost always, and with their names itself you can relate them what they are, right? So when I talk of nuclear energy, the example, nuclear energy is the energy which is released during fission or fusion of nuclei, right? So the most common example of nuclear energy would be the fusion which takes place inside the sun. Fusion, that is basically nuclear fusion which takes place inside the sun, that results in heat and light which we get in the form of sun rays, right? The nuclear fusion taking place inside the sun results in the heat, and that is the nuclear energy which is generated in the sun gets converted into light energy and heat energy which we receive in the form of sunlight. Now, when I talk of nuclear energy, there is something important which I would like to mention. In nuclear energy, what happens basically is, for example, if we consider this nuclear fusion, what happens is inside the sun, two nuclei fuse together to form a heavier nuclei, right? And some energy is released. So why is some energy released? Because the total mass of products is less than the total mass of reactants. I hope you are acquainted with these terminologies, products, reactants, in your chemistry. You have studied all these things in your chemistry. Whenever any reaction takes place, suppose R1 plus R2 gives P. So R1 and R2 are the reactants of a reaction and P is the product of a reaction. When the total mass of the product is less than the total mass of the reactants, in that case, the remaining mass is released as energy. This difference between the masses is known as mass defect. So I wanted to introduce this terminology because if I am talking of nuclear energy, mass defect is something which you should know. Mass defect is nothing but the difference between the total mass of the products and the total mass of the reactants. So when the total mass of the products is less than the total mass of the reactants, then the remaining, the mass difference that is released in the form of some energy. Right. So similarly, when nuclear fusion takes place inside the sun, the reactants combine together or fuse together to give the product. And the remaining energy which is left out, that is released in the form of heat and light. Fine. So on the basis of this mass defect concept had come the mass energy equivalence. there was a concept which had come called mass energy equivalence. It said that the mass defect, that is the difference between the masses, gives rise to energy. Mass defect, that is the difference between the masses, gives rise to energy. So that is why it is called mass energy equivalence, because mass gives rise to energy. Fine. So I guess only brief introduction of all these different forms of energy is enough to go ahead with this chapter. I just wanted to tell you that there are many different forms of energy here and there around us, and interconversion keeps taking place all around us. That is, one form of energy getting converted into another form of energy. That keeps happening all the time, everywhere. So if you keep your eyes and ears open, you can even think of many more kind of conversions of energy which take place around you. Conservation of energy states that in an isolated system, the total energy is conserved. What do I mean when I say isolated system? Isolated system means a system where there is no external forces. No external forces is acting on the system. So in an isolated system, the total energy is conserved means the total energy of the system remains constant. For conservative forces, the total mechanical energy is conserved. We have seen quite a few examples. The example of the spring, the example of the ball falling from a height. We saw that the total mechanical energy is conserved. However, for non-conservative forces, the mechanical energy is transformed into other forms of energy. I mean, even in non-conservative forces, the total energy of the system remains constant, but one form of energy gets converted into another forms of energy. For example, let us take the example of rubbing our palms. When you rub your palms, what happens? When we rub our palms, there is friction which comes into play. Now this frictional force gives rise to heat energy. So what happens when we rub our palms? Heat energy is generated. So the total energy in this case also remains constant, just that initially the energy is in the form of kinetic energy. When you move your hands, this kinetic energy is partly converted into the heat energy which is produced due to rubbing of the hands, and partly it is used up in overcoming the friction. So in case of non-conservative force, one energy gets converted into other forms of energy, but the law of conservation of energy, which states that the total energy of a system, of an isolated system, remains constant, holds true for all kinds of forces. Thank you. Visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thanks once again.